What's going on, and welcome back. Obviously, by the intro or by the thumbnail, I'm going to be talking about the Ori games. But first, I want to talk about how I discovered these games. Okay, let's go back 3.5 years ago. I was looking at Game Informer magazine, the magazine from GameStop, and I would see advertisements for Ori and the Blind Forest, an indie platforming game, a game that looked like I had played before. I mean, I hadn't played it, but it looked like a game I had played before. And I was like, nah, I'm not impressed. No, thank you. I think I'll pass on this one. So now, I'd always see these advertisements in the magazine. And now let's fast forward to June of 2020. I'll never forget this day. It was on a Sunday. A storm was coming in. We were right about to get into the pandemic, Was the pandemic already here? No, but we were fixing to get right, into the lockdown stage of the pandemic, and people were going crazy, right? Buying all the toilet paper, buying all the paper towels. And my sister calls me, and she says, "If you need anything from Walmart, you better go now because people are going nuts. They're buying everything." I didn't need anything, but I thought, you know what, I want to go check this out anyways. So I got my son, and we went to Walmart, and yeah, everybody was buying everything off the shelves. I was like, wow, man, this is nuts. This is crazy. So we went to the electronics section, and they had one Xbox One X left. So like a badass, I went to the really pretty cashier that was working there at the time and the electronics, and I told her I need this, and she took it out, and I don't know, she looked kind of impressed because everybody was buying food and I was sitting here spending $300 on an Xbox. I needed my entertainment. If we were going on a lockdown, I needed some entertainment. I had plenty of food. Anyway, I brought it home, and a couple of days later, I hooked it up. Now, that's when I first discovered Game Pass, and I started playing Hollow Knight and Star Wars: The Jedi Fallen Order. So I was going in between, Hollow Knight and the Fallen Order. And then in July, was it July? Yeah. In July, my son ended up getting sick, not with COVID. Now, by then, we were already on lockdown. We had a curfew. There was a certain time we couldn't go out. But past 10, since we're under curfew, if you went out and they caught you out, you can get in trouble. You can get a fine. It didn't matter, and it still doesn't matter. Once it gets dark here, we don't leave the house anyways. So my son, he ended up getting pretty sick. Thank goodness. I took him to the doctor. Thank goodness it wasn't COVID. He just had a viral infection, but he couldn't go to school because then it was so the school was if you sneeze, they send you home. Anyway, remember that Monday, I called in to work, and I told him I had to stay home for a few days because he was pretty sick, had a bad cough or whatever. That Tuesday, I wanted to play something different, so I decided to give Ori and the Will of the Wisps a chance. So I downloaded it off of Game Pass. Oh my god! By the way, before I get into that, by the way, if you haven't played these games yet, Ori and the Blind Forest comes first, and then Ori and the Will of the Wisps second. I went backwards. It makes more sense if you play them in order, okay? Anyway, I started playing this game. Oh my god. The music in this game, the graphics, the platforming, it was perfect. Perfect. I couldn't believe it. You know, the game starts off easy, and then it gets really hard. It gets really hard, like difficult. Your timing has to be perfect. You know, there's puzzles you got to solve to get through stages. It got pretty difficult, and I loved it. I absolutely loved it. And that's all I did, you know, all that Tuesday afternoon was play this game into early Wednesday morning. Now, Wednesday, I ran into my boss. It was a bug in here. I think I got it. Oh, I did get it. I ran into my boss at the post office, and he asked me, you know, how's your son doing? I was like, well, he's sick. So, well, I go, he's doing better. Let's put it this way. He was doing better at the time. I go, he's doing better. I'm gonna stay home with him for another day, you know, just to make sure he's all right. This was Wednesday. When we got home. We went and got something to eat. Then we came home, and around 1 o'clock, I started playing the game again. And Wednesday night, I finished it. I was done, and I thought, oh my God, this was such a awesome game. I loved it. Ori and the Will of the Wisps, it's a terrific game. Went to bed. I got a phone call on Thursday morning from my boss. He said, hey, listen, I'm gonna have to go ahead and put you under quarantine. I was like, what? He's like, yeah, so you have to stay home for the rest of this week and next week. And I thought, great, I can't leave the house now. I have to stay home. No, really, I was like, great, I'm getting paid to stay home and play video games. This is terrific. You know, I already had my laundry done. I had the house cleaned. I'll never forget that Thursday. I opened the window in here. I opened the curtains. I opened the window. I let the fresh air in. And I downloaded Ori and the Blind Forest. And I started playing that game. And yeah, you know, to me it started off kind of slow because I was already used to playing, well, Ori and the Will of the Wisps. You know, I already had all these power-ups. I can, you know, jump high. I had all these like abilities, and now I'm starting over from scratch. So I started playing it. Oh my gosh, another gem, another platforming masterpiece. I was like, oh my gosh, this game is so freaking awesome. I fell in love with these games. I fell in love with them. I couldn't believe what I was playing here. I was like, it's been this long. I think Ori and the Blind Forest came out in like 2015. And then Ori and the Blind Forest it just came out, you know, last year. I guess it went straight to Game Pass, I don't know. And I played the shit out of the Blind Forest, and I finished it on Friday night. Again, another masterpiece of a platformer. And I was thinking to myself, I can't believe like I was gonna pass on these games. I didn't, you know. Again, like I said, it starts off easy enough, and then it gets hard, and then you have boss battles, and when you beat these bosses, you still like gotta escape the level, and it gets intense. Now, when I play a game that I absolutely love, let's say I downloaded it, or for, in this instance, I got it from Game Pass, and I played, these two games, and I absolutely fell in love with them. I feel that I needed to have these in my collection. I wanted to own them physically, because you never know with Game Pass, they're always changing games, they take games down, and if I wanted to play it again, I wouldn't be able to, because they'd be gone. So I always told myself, I have to get these games and add them into my collection, just in case something like that happens. At least I'll have them. I'll still be able to play them. It was like a year later, I finally decided to buy them. So I ended up ordering Ori and the Will of the Wisps, the collector's edition. I'll talk about this here in a second. And Ori and the Blind Forest. I ordered them on the same day. If you remember, if you watched last week's video, I talk about that. This actually came in like a couple of days before it was supposed to got here, so that was awesome. And Ori and the Blind Forest never showed up. So I asked for a refund from the seller, and immediately they gave me a refund. So obviously they didn't ship it when they said they did. So I ordered Ori and the Blind Forest, the definitive edition, on PC. The only reason I did that was because on the Xbox for the Blind Forest, I don't believe they have a collector's edition for that. It was just in a regular case. And on the PC, it was going to come in in a big box, and it was sealed, and it looked nice. The box looked nice, and I thought it would look really nice next to this thing. Oh shit. Anyways, unfortunately, that game hasn't come in yet. I know, it still hasn't come in yet. Now I've been tracking it. It was supposed to have gotten here last Saturday, and it still hasn't showed up yet. But I've been tracking it. As of the making of this video, it's in Indianapolis. It's been shipped. It just said it's going to be arriving late. So maybe, I don't know, by the time you're watching this, maybe it's already got here. I'm not too sure. I wanted to do an unboxing to show you what was inside of this PC version. But since it's not here, I'll show you what's in this thing. Now, it's open, okay? It's not sealed. It didn't come in sealed. I bought this off of eBay from a game store, and they were selling these for $50 because these games are brand new. This is brand new. It was just open for a display model, I guess, to show people what's inside the collector's edition. And they were selling, sealed copies. So this guy, he selling them for $50 or best offer. I contacted the seller and I said, look, I know that this game is brand new. It's brand spanking new, but it's not sealed. It's been opened. Do you think, would you take $30 for it? And 10 minutes later, he accepted the offer. So they're selling these right now for $60 sealed. I remember a year ago they were $30 sealed, and I got this one for $30 just because it wasn't open. Because it was open. And look at this. You see that? It's torn. No big deal. But let me show you what's in here. So I guess the prices on these things are going up. So you got this really pretty box, and on the inside you got the game, and you have the art book. Okay, so they give you this really nice art book that shows you, it shows you the characters and all the creatures that you run into in the game. And this is really nice. I love this little art book. It's a really nice little book. And then they give you a steel book with the game in it. So you get the game and a soundtrack. And then you can download the soundtrack, you know. They give you a little a code here, which I'm not going to show, but they give you a physical copy of the soundtrack in here, and you can download it, I guess, on your PC if you want it. So yeah, this is pretty awesome. I'm so happy to own a physical copy of Ori and the Will of the Wisps collector's edition. You know, get this while you still can. I got lucky and found this one brand new off of eBay for $30, just because, like I said, it wasn't sealed, but they still have them right now for $60 sealed. And who knows if the price is going to go up next year, because like I said, last year this was $30 sealed, and now they're $60. And I think, I don't know, people are discovering this game and they're actually finding out how awesome it is. They want this one, or the collector's edition, and it's getting up in price. It's getting up in price. So yeah, the Ori games, I love. My absolutely favorite platforming games right now. My games of the year, my games of the century. I love them. You know, like I said, if you have Xbox and you have the Game Pass, go try them out. They're free right now on Game Pass. Go play them while you can, because who knows? Who knows when Xbox will take them down. And if you don't have an Xbox, they're available on the Switch as well. Like I said, you never know. You might just fall in love with these games just as much as I did. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next episode.